Are looking pretty gross. Brittany owns southern France. Also has Castile has land in Scandinavia. HRE has lands in Scandinavia as well. Byzantines have come and tried to form looks like the second Rome at this rate. They are currently in war with against the Kaiser for a subjugation war, which means they would eventually take over all of the HRE, which would be insane. That would probably put them as probably one of the more powerful groups out here, even though there are probably a decent amount of powerful groups. As you know, we made every faith in the game on reforms so that we wouldn't have them becoming feudal as easily that way. As you can see, Catholicism still in the first place, but Ashuri second. Tangri still holding on. Usually this all gets converted out to being a Orthodox or Catholic at this point in the game. But it looks like a lot of the Catholics have taken over Orthodox lands, so that's why they have even more going on. As for culture, our favorite conversation point, where I talk about things for 10 seconds and say, this is disgusting. We have Anglo-Nordic, which feels interesting. We have Greco-Franconian, also very interesting. We got butter, as always. But yeah, like I said, culture is interesting to see what amalgamations they make together, but it's really underutilized when a player is not doing it themselves. So good stuff. After that, let's look at the kingdom map modes. We have maybe more to see. Looks like the Iberian conflict ended in I think that's how that was ended, maybe not. But we also see Lombardia was formed. Nothing too crazy. Finland, Sweden, that's not that crazy in my opinion. As for the Empire map mode, we see a little more going on. Holy Roman Empire expanding into Iberia, Italy expanding into them. Byzantines trying to make other parts of the world parts of theirs. Persia expanded a little bit. And Italy, wait. Italy, what are you doing over here? How'd you do that? How you do that? Did I miss that? Oh, it's because of the Lombardia. Yeah, I did miss that. Like we said, it's mostly tribal. I think there was only a couple. I think Pisa at the beginning was technically a city, and there was a couple theocracies that have been since revoked. So it's not a full tribal, but I think this is as close as we're going to get without editing the game folder completely and causing mayhem and destruction to all my saves. But it was pretty good. Normally, at this point in the game, we feel like we see people with hundreds of thousands of troops, but it looks like everybody is too poor. Yeah, everybody's too poor to maintain that much troops. There are a lot of people who are making money, but there are few and far between. Like, if you look at, let's say, Constantinople, it's making a total, I guess let's actually jump to the economic map mode to really see that. 18 gold. Brescia is making a decent amount of gold. Ile-de-France making a decent amount of gold, but it's still, they're just not as much as you would think. Something that we rarely look at just because I don't think it's that interesting, because usually it's like, oh, they have the top renown. I wanted to see how well some of these courts are doing without having the ability to go all the way to the top. They are actually making it, but that's probably due to the fact of all their little trinkets and bubbles and all that are giving them prestige. Development. Like to see how developed the land is. Surprisingly, there are some places, as we've seen time and time again, the Byzantines are good at developing, but everybody else pretty not dark yellow. Usually still a lot of purple. What did we learn from this timeline primarily? I think what we learned is that it's even more volatile than it normally is, just because the fact that, like, if I had let the game run a little bit longer, they subjugate more land. The fact that they're able to just gobble up a whole empire, it's just like the Mongols, but like worse because they'll probably stay in power for longer. So they'll take that, and then I think we saw Aquitaine get swooped by Conquest too, or in Ekis, it was an inheritance, um, which is interesting to see. The tribal Byzantines, they're much healthier Byzantines, surprisingly enough. Out of everybody out here, they seem to be the ones flourishing the best. Maybe it's just due to the fact that it's a different person. Silesians had it too. Yeah. Oh, well, maybe it's because at one point they both were under the same control, and we're just seeing the dregs of that happening now. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this tribal only. If you did, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, have a good rest of your day. Ciao.